Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the first live meeting of Manager of a Moodle Site, an AI-enhanced course. This is a free 4-week online course. If you're here in Zoom, welcome. And if you're watching the live streaming on YouTube, welcome. And if you're watching the recording, I'm glad you're here. This is a course that has been taking place for a couple of years, so it's not new. What is new is the AI enhanced part of the course, where you'll not only get a chance to learn about managing a Moodle site, but you'll also get a chance to use AI tools and create your very own Moodle course. So this is part of it. Let's go on. A little bit about me for those that don't know. I currently teach fully online at a distance in Greece at a university in an MSc program for educators mostly, but also for others. I teach immersive virtual reality and augmented reality experiences and technologies. I'm also a teacher educator, and I provide everything on a Moodle platform called Integrating Technology for Professional Development. And I'm glad you're here. A little bit about what we're going to talk about. We'll talk about Moodle, about my introduction and aspirations, teaching and learning methods that I use in these courses, and about some of the tasks that you'll be taking, such as Let's Get Acquainted videos 1, 2, 3, teaching perspectives, and then video tutorials for TinyMCE, which is the only editor in Moodle 5. We're using the latest Moodle, and you'll be working on the latest Moodle 5.0 in a Moodle site. So you will be the managers of a new website. With the latest Moodle, we'll also look at screen recorders, AI generator, and Moodle activities, video layout of the course that you'll be watching, as well as creating a video of that, and then the certificates and digital badges. There are some issues with Zoom these days for the past month plus in different parts of the world. So many of you may not have made it, even though I know that you registered. So I'm sorry for that. So let's get started. What is Moodle? Your opinion, besides being an LMS, what is Moodle? And maybe this image will help you. So if you could add that in the chat, or if you're on YouTube or watching the recording, you can jot it down. So what is Moodle? Well, I'll tell you what it is for me. For me, it's like a university. A few buildings that are open 24/7 that I can join and go through the library and get resources and do all kinds of engaging activities on campus 24/7, completely free. That's Moodle. It's open to everyone 24/7. What does Moodle stand for? Well, MOODLE stands for, first of all, Moodle stands for modular, O object, O oriented, D dynamic, L learning, and E environment. And you can read all about it. It's modular in that it's built in separate functional units or plugins. It's organized in plugins. These plugins have been developing since 2001 by different developers, Moodle developers that are doing this for free, most of them, but some charge. Object-oriented, it uses object-oriented programming, mainly PHP and JavaScript for maintainability and for extensibility. It's dynamic because the content is not just there to be stored, but it's there to be used with different roles. So participants can get the role of a participant, a teacher even, with editing rights, and so on. So everyone can be a teacher on Moodle, even if they're a student. And it's a learning environment designed to support teaching and learning with interactive activities. The developer, the founder, was Martin Dogiamis from Australia. And he did it because he was doing his PhD and he couldn't come to campus. So what was he supposed to do? He started developing this with others. There were many, many, and there still are many developers who are contributing to this community freely. It's open source, which means that anyone can contribute. A little bit about my experiences with Moodle. First of all, I started with computer-assisted language learning, as an ESL, EFL teacher in 1993, actually 1992, because it was in September. And I used 2 computer rooms, sometimes with internet, sometimes without internet, but that's how I began my journey. In 2003, the same year that everything started, I actually created my first web quest that turned into a website called Nellie's English Projects, that if you take the admin course next year, you'll have a chance to be there. I changed it to a Moodle site for admins to practice. And I also became a Moodle admin, an administrator of a Moodle site in 2003. So it's been a few years since I've been the administrator of my own Moodle sites and others' Moodle sites. I started Moodle for Teachers training the same year that I started working on my dissertation. So I was quite busy in 2009, where teachers can get training for Moodle, which is what you're doing today, at different levels. In 2010, I completed my dissertation. My aspirations for you, for the participants of this course, are active participatory learning. I'd like the participants to be actively engaged with the content and with the activities, to explore and to share their explorations and learning experiences and reflections, as well as experience learning personally and professionally. Those are my 4 aspirations. So what does it mean to be an active participant? Well, first of all, it's an approach. It's an approach where students engage in the learning process through activities, discussions, and collaboration. Collaboration is kind of difficult these days, but it was wonderful during COVID when everybody had the time to collaborate on Moodle, because Moodle's platform is very collaborative in nature, rather than have students passively receiving information, because today the information's out there. First with the internet and now with AI tools, we are bombarded with free information. So it's no longer the idea of getting information and being tested on information, but the idea is, what do you do with the information? How do you move forward? How do you create things using this information or this ability that we've been given to use an AI generator? And the key features, of course, are interaction and dialogue among students. And the idea here is among students. Students learn best when they learn with and from each other. So students, and I'll talk about this, become owners of their own learning, and they learn together. It's a lot more exciting to get information and learn with peers than to get information from one person, the teacher. The benefits are obvious. Understanding becomes easier and retention is higher. Students get a chance to develop critical thinking skills, and they develop problem solving, because that's what we do with the information. The idea is to use the information to benefit our lives and our surroundings and our personal and professional development, of course. and it's done through peer teaching. That's the method that I use. Participants teach one another, and this involves doing something. And what they do is, besides interacting with each other, and they focus on how to benefit others. So it's not just about you, it's about what you can do for others and how others can learn from you and how you can learn from others. So there's a lot of respectful teaching here. It's different from discovery learning, where you focus on your own learning and you do not necessarily share. The learning environment is very, very active. Everyone's involved, replying to one another, reflecting on themselves, of course, on the work they do, not on others, and not criticizing others. It's about uplifting others and making them feel good. And the approach involves social constructivism, and that's what Moodle is about, and that's how it developed. Of course, in discovery learning, there's also constructivism, but it's not social. You do not pass on the information. The key techniques are peer instruction or peer teaching, peer learning, whereas in discovery learning, it's only about what you can do with it and not beyond that. So let's continue with, as I said, there's a lot of engagement and communication in a Moodle course, unlike other learning management system. The first thing you had to do, and I'm sure you've already done it, since this is Moodle 5, there are some quirks and maybe some bugs that we're only discovering now. One of the differences right now is the fact that you need to watch the videos that are YouTube videos available in the orientation on YouTube. Otherwise, you do not get a green light and credit for watching. So you might have to go on to YouTube. I apologize for that. The grades, well, there are grades out of 100. That's the most you can get. You can't get any less. There are no in-between grades. You get 100 the minute you do the task. If you make mistakes, that's fine. If you do the task and you don't see what somebody else sees, that's fine. That's what you see. That's what you learned. We're learning from one another, and that's the beauty of it. No two people create the same and see or understand or learn in the same way. So the videos are different, and this is a chance for us to learn from one another. I've chosen 2 screen recorders. I've chosen Canva, which is completely free because of the duration. Sometimes you will find yourself creating longer videos in 10 or 15 minutes. With Canva, a screen recorder, which is completely free, you don't need to have anything but a free account. The duration can be over 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. I've tried it, it works. It's unlimited duration, and you can edit on Canva. You can edit your video, you can add images to the video. You can do whatever you want, really. You can add music to your voice. What's required is your voice with your camera on or off. That's up to you. So Canva for the duration, as well as for the editor. With Wondershare Demo Creator, it's also free, and you get a chance to also use an editor with a filter for your face if you want to use your camera. The filters may not show up as you because they're absolutely amazing. Try that. And it has, as I said, the editor. It's completely free, and I think you will like it. You need to install it, to download it on your computer. So you need to have a computer. I'm not sure whether it works. I don't think it works on another device, but maybe. And there are 2 videos here on how to record on Canva and how to record on Demo Creator. Another tool that you'll be learning to use is called Generico. Generico is part of the TinyMCE. By the way, that's the only one that's available if I didn't mention it. Moodle got rid of auto, so there's only one editor called TinyMCE. It's a rich editor. And there are different ways of using Generico for websites. Not all websites, okay? But most websites, you'll be able to insert so that participants can watch the website in the course. They don't have to go out to watch the website. And this is how you do it. You can hyperlink the words or just add the link at the bottom. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to ask. I'll be happy to help. And you can ask the same question a few times. That's okay. I'm fine with that. Why embed videos? As I mentioned, first of all, they appear directly in the Moodle interface so that the learning continues in the course and students don't have to go out. And for privacy and security issues, we don't want young learners and others to leave the LMS. And consistency, embedded videos contribute to a consistent user experience with Moodle, that learning is cohesive and they go through the same system, and that helps with learning. And reduce dependency on external platforms. And that's where Generico is very, very useful. Distractions, they don't go elsewhere to TikTok or somewhere else, and then, or their emails, or lose track. And accessibility, that's also important. They can be accessed across different devices and internet connections. These are ways that you can share your videos. One is by uploading it to YouTube. All you need to do, you don't need Generico or to embed. All you need to do is paste the link and it gets embedded. Magic. Same with Vimeo, you just paste the link and the video gets embedded and students or participants can watch the videos. With Google Drive, you need to make it public. With YouTube, you just need to make it unlisted. Private does not show up. With Google Drive, if you're going to upload your MP4 to Google Drive, you need to make it public, share it publicly with anyone who has the link, and then you can embed it or use Generico. Now, Moodle now has some external tools, AI external tools and internal tools. We're going to take a look at some of the activities. I'm trying to, okay, it's not here. All right, these are the external tools, external AI tools that you'll be using. You can also add your own. There's something called a check where you can add comments and notes to each of these tools in Moodle. And you can also add your own additional tools. And these are the tools. Most of these work in most countries. I checked most of them in China, and if they work in China, they usually work in other countries. I think Cuba is another problematic country where some tools do not work. And I'll be adding to these as we go. These are some AI tools on the Moodle. So there's Genny AI. These are free to install, but cost money to use. You'll have a chance to take a look at them in the as a manager, of course, in the manager website. The name of the site is Blended Online Learning, where you will have the right to be the manager of the whole Moodle site, which is really exciting. There's Cursive. Cursive is free to me, but it costs $199 a year or $2 per student per year. What is Cursive? Cursive verifies whether the student's text is by the student or not, according to typing biometrics. And it really, really works. You'll have a chance to try it out in the course. What it does is it forces students to not copy and paste. They have to write straight into the message area or the discussion forum. They can't copy and paste. This is also for teachers who want to test it out so that their content is original. Now, it tests the pressure that they put on the keyboard. If they're copying and pasting, obviously, there's no pressure. It's just once. It's a wonderful tool, and you might be interested in that. There's another one called that comes with the Moodle. You don't have to add it. With Cursive, you need to install it, or the admin needs to install it. Next year, if you take the admin course, you'll have a chance to install these. Managers cannot install plugins. They can do most everything else, but not work on plugins. And Moodle is based on plugins, as I said. So these are called AI placement. And what they do is there's either OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, Llama, and Microsoft Azure. The AI tools that come with a Moodle, and you'll be able to see this, is generate text, creates content from a text prompt, generate images, it creates images from text, and summarize text. It summarizes course content, for example, and it also helps students understand the content by explaining text. It clarifies written text. But these are all based on users and how much they use, and that's how you need to pay. In addition, there's OpenAI outside Moodle, which is what you'll be doing, using AI beyond Moodle and bringing it into Moodle. It's not in Moodle. You'll be creating a video tutorial. The first one, maybe you've already done it, showing how to navigate the course. And this is what it will look like. What do you see? You receive a grade. Passing grade, as I said, there's only one grade, and it's out of 100. You also must have received a badge for adding your country. So I don't know if you noticed that. Maybe it's in the spam box. You also need to add your server time as well as gender, which is important for us to know. If you want to, you don't have to. And then this is the editor. Notice what this editor has that, say, Word or other editors don't have. It has a recorder. You can record your voice if you're tired. This happens to me sometimes, where I prefer to add my voice, or sometimes we want our students to add their voices to record or to answer by voice. They can also answer by video. So this has these features. Also the insert, where you could insert, for example, Generico tools, where you can add source code, HTML codes. You need to expand if you want to see everything by going to the three dots. This is the only editor now available on Moodle. This is week one, and what you'll be doing, you'll be introducing yourselves. I think many of you must have already introduced yourself. You'll be getting accounts, free accounts on the AI-powered tools for educators, and you will get an account on blended online learning. Okay, this is where you will be. Let me go there now. So this is blended online learning, where you will become the manager of the whole site with the other participants. And I think that's really, really exciting. You need to get an account, you log in, and you use one of these, but use the same one each time, either Google, Facebook, Yahoo, Microsoft. If you have a school, you'll be able to use OpenID, but your school has to use Microsoft in order to do that. So I'm not sure if your school has that or not. The way you start is this. You get an account, and then you enroll in support for managers. I don't know if you saw that. Let me go back here. Support for managers. Okay, this is the course. Notice guests cannot log in. I have added the code, so you'll be able to add a code in order to go in. Not everybody can go in. You have to be part of the course, and you have to, first of all, introduce yourself before you go anywhere. You'll also share your background and then create a video tutorial of the screen recorder and of the profile preferences. Take the teaching perspectives. If you've done the teaching perspectives before, you may find it useful once again. So this is what you will do: create an account. Now, you'll be creating a course, so choose a name for your course. Once you have an account there, you'll be able to ask for a course. And there's a video in week 1 on how to ask to get a course of your own. Okay, there's a video. And then once you get a course, so think of a name and description for a course. Also get an account on ChatGPT because you'll be using that, and on the AI-powered tools, as I mentioned. So if you click on these, and this presentation is actually in the course, you'll be able to go into each of these. This is the presentation. Let's get acquainted, and so on. That's part 1 of week 1. When you finish the first part, you will become the teaching perspectives, and this is your profile. Notice if you get stuck, use the feedback. If you can't get into the course for any reason, and get a screenshot. Yeah, so this is part 2. Once you finish part 1, you will get the right as the manager of blended online learning. And this is where you start to manage. Your management begins. And you will find checklist. The checklist has lots of tools. You'll be able to take notes and keep track of the tools, as well as, this is a Moodle activity feature, as well as add new tools if you've got some favorite tools. Then write the details of your course, a name for the course, and description of 50 words. Sticky notes. You'll create an activity with sticky notes. There is an activity actually with sticky notes. You'll be able to do that later. And then how to get your individual course. There's a video on that. And then you will create a video showing the general site administration as the manager. There's support form for the second section. You will get separate badges for each section. And this is the support course, where you will also get support, and you will see this as the welcome. This is what you will see in the Manager of Blended Online Learning. It's support for each part of the administration council as a manager. It may sound confusing now, but it's going to be amazing. You'll just do it step by step. I'm just giving you the whole picture. You'll see support for general administration. So the first thing you will see is general administration, users administration, course administration, grades administration, and so on. Are there any questions so far? Because what I'd like to do is, I'd like to take you to the course. Let me know if there are any questions. Let me try to get back to, there we are. Any questions in the meantime? The course, it's called Blended Online Learning. Okay, great. But you will have questions, hopefully. This is what it looks like. So this is the support course, but this is what you will see as the admin. If you go into the admin, let's see if I can, yeah. You will see general, users, courses, grades, plugins. This is what you will see in the first week. In the second part of the first week, you will go through the general, and you'll see different things here. okay, that you will learn from. Here's the AI providers, for example. And you will see this. And you will see license, certificates, location, language. You'll also see site, home. So you're getting the back end of Moodle. And you'll get a chance to play around with things so that you can experience what it's like to be a manager of a Moodle site. Okay, so these are the different parts, as I said before. These are the weekly digital badges, but also some have two parts. For example, so you get a badge for each part. There's the orientation that you may have received by now. And then there's week 1, part 1, week 1, part 2. And then week 2 also has 2 parts. And the reason is that you're learning how to manage a Moodle site as the manager, but you're also developing a course, and you'll start this in week 2. And then there's week 3 with part 1, part 2, and week 4 only has 1 part. And the certificate will include 40 hours, not 30. And I hope that this will make a difference and you'll be able to use the certificate since it has the hours. If there's anything else that you need, let me know. I can always make changes. These are the references. They're either for language and for Moodle. And the last one just came out in 2025, and that's related to Moodle and the effects of feedback providers, teachers who provide feedback, but also students who provide feedback, and the positive emotional tone. If the teacher is positive and the tone is positive, then learning is much more effective. So this is important in online learning. They didn't do this in face-to-face, but they did it for university students in a learning environment, an LMS. And that's it for the first meeting. Our second meeting, you will have a chance to ask questions at the meeting. You also get a certificate for attending these live meetings. Are there any questions right now? Let me know in the chat if there's anything. If not, please use the support form whenever you have a question. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you during the week. Bye for now.